Hey there, PT family. You must have a wrist, hand, or forearm problem. So we're going to set a 15-minute timer and go through some basic warm-ups. The hands are mostly endurance muscles. Obviously there's power involved too, but we're going to work some of the smaller muscles. Some of what we'll do is nourishing for the carpal tunnel, for the lateral epicondyle, for the medial epicondyle if you have golfer's elbow, tennis elbow, carpal tunnel, wrist tendonitis. All of this is pretty universal, so it's a warm-up exercise. You're going to get the putty out and roll it. Try to get both hands involved. Even if you only have pain on one hand, we're going to probably get both hands involved. And then we're going to press down like a piano key and just get some of the finger flexors working. What you'll want to do is keep a note so that when your therapist comes, you can let them know which of these activities was bothersome or which one felt the best. Sort of a self-discovery exercise, so give yourself a little bit of grace as you're figuring out what works for you and what's not working for you. So we'll roll out the piano keys a couple of times. Good. This is a very light putty. This is a little bit more resistant, so if you feel like it's too easy and you want a little bit more of a challenge, grab the green putty. I'm going to start using the green putty, but this is lighter, this is more heavier. Now we're going to just take and start to pull apart, get those forearm muscles working, use your grip, just pull apart. Good. Just discover, do you have shoulder discomfort, forearm discomfort, wrist discomfort while you're doing that? If you do, maybe grab the lighter and warm up here. And let your therapist know when they see you which of the exercises were challenging. So now we're going to pull apart with sock puppet hands. This works more of the intrinsic muscles of the hand because of that funny sock puppet grip. You'll also be working the forearm muscles and some of the shoulder rotators. If you really have great posture while you're doing this, you might even be working some of the interscapular muscles. Get the most out of this that you can. You know, if you're like this, you're not going to get as much out of it if your upper body's supported than as if you would if you're sitting tall with good posture, back unsupported. But if that doesn't work for you, that's okay. Now we're going to start to twist a little bit. Twisting is a lot easier with the green putty because it gives you something to work against. So we twist away, twist away, switch hands. You don't want your same hand always on the bottom or always on top. So do a few rounds and then switch. Ooh, that was a fun pop. And I can start to feel a little heat building up right here in my forearm, and that's okay with me, unless that is, a pain that I'm dealing with. And if that's the case, then I'll just go a little bit slower, rest a little bit more in between my twists. And then you want to twist towards you. I'm exaggerating here by kind of pulling my hands towards me, but there's two ways of twisting away and twisting towards. So you want to work both of those directions. And I'm a broken record, but if you need to, drop to a lighter putty, that's okay. Ooh, another pop. Lucky day. So that's some fun stuff here. For those who specifically have elbow pain on the outside here, we're going to create a little ring and we're going to open like that. Create a ring, little donut, and open. Create your ring, get in there like a little sock puppet hand, and spread and open. You'll feel those outside of the forearm muscles working pretty good. Good. There's no need to count sets and reps here. These are light exercises, so what you really should be doing is just paying attention to how quickly you fatigue, if you fatigue or not. If you're not getting any sort of heat or fatigue with these exercises, maybe you're using a lighter resistance and it's time to increase. This is pretty easy. So I could do this for a long time without a whole lot of fatigue. So I would want to switch. All right, so putty warm up. Now that we're nice and warmed up, we're going to switch over here to one of the TheraBars. Okay, they come in different resistance. Tan is number 1. Let's see where. Sorry, should have had this done ahead of time. So from lightest to heaviest, red, tan, green, teal, whatever that is, yellow, then blue. So most of you are going to want to start with the tan, and if it's too easy, move up. If it's too hard, move down. So we're going to start with making some rainbows. Squeeze those wrists and elbows and even your pec muscles together. And I want you to go until you feel just a little bit of heat in the forearm. If you're not feeling heat, move up a notch. Okay, oh, I feel that. Okay, then we pause for about 10 seconds. And now we're going to make some smiley faces. Make sure to smile while you're doing this. Wouldn't that be a pitiful sight to see someone making smiley faces while they're scowling? Maybe look somebody in the eye from across the room, smile at them, and make them think you know something they don't know. And then we're going to take the TheraBar, place it down with our palm up, secure here, and we're going to arm wrestle, and we're going to win. We're going to win this arm wrestling match. This is forearm pronation. And I'm starting to feel a little bit of heat. All right, there's good. Then we're going to flip with our palm down and secure. And now we're going to lose this arm wrestling match. Oh, that's a little harder. So I'm going to switch to a lighter. Yeah, that's doable. 3. If you can't do at least 10 of these, then the resistance is too high. 7, 8, 9. And there's no shame in adjusting or going down a little bit, especially if it's your symptomatic side. So maybe this is where I have a lot of pain. I'm going to use the lightest resistance bar. This is an important exercise here to work the forearm supinators that come and attach. And so you don't want to skip this one if it hurts, but you don't want to irritate it either. So take your time, be self-aware, let your therapist know if something's bothering you. And you can always skip an exercise if you're not confident, and the therapist can review those with you when they get to you. These are definitely warm-up exercises. They're really safe, hard to do wrong, and so don't be overly concerned if you're not doing something right. If it doesn't feel right to you, skip it. Okay, we're going to twist away like we did with the putty as a bit of a warm-up. 10. If I can't do 10, I'm going to switch resistance levels. Now you twist towards. And that feels really nice. The other thing that we can do here with the Thera bar is just a little bit of a range of motion. There's no real resistance here, but it's nice to just move after we've been working that forearm pretty firmly. We'd prefer you not have your hand or elbow rather resting on a hard surface, so make sure you either get a pillow or ask for a towel or a pad and sort of protect the sensitive areas from the pressure of the table. And like I said, we're probably going to do these exercises on both hands, even if you're only symptomatic on one. Very soon after, often we see the non-dominant hand start to develop symptoms. A lot of us are doing fine motor activities with our phones, or we're sleeping in weird postures, or we spend a lot of time at a computer in maybe not the most ideal ergonomic positions. Then we drive home, and then we sit on the couch and do more of this. So it's no wonder why we're having a lot of issues in the wrists and forearms in these last 10 years or so. We see a whole lot of it. So you're not alone, but there's a lot that you can do. Tissue, heat, variety, and proper stretching during the workday is really important. So let's add a little bit of a gentle stretch. This is especially important for those with carpal tunnel, numbness, tingling. You're going to get your fingers hooked under your desk or your table, and then just gently grab the thumb, pull it back, feel that nice stretch through the forearm, through the palm, and hold each stretch for about 3 to 5 slow, deep breaths. Other side. And be gentle here, especially if you have a history of arthritis in your hand. Be gentle. You can come across the top, or you can skip this thumb stretch if it's just too intense. Hold that stretch, feel the forearm. And one of my favorite ways to stretch the opposite side is to do this sort of rotation where the palm starts up and then it rotates here. We're going to maybe stand up and lean into this stretch. You'll feel this stretch up here on the top of the forearm. Be careful that you're not hurting your wrist. If you need a modification, we can go over that with you when the therapist comes, and you're going to hold that also for 3 deep breaths. Sort of tractioning that elbow, taking it almost into a little bit of hyperextension. It's nice to sort of shake that out. So start here, palm up, reverse it, come into a little bit of wrist flexion with elbow extension, and we're just going to gently sort of rotate the forearm and extend it. If this is painful, don't do so much, or you can do it like this, or simply like this. This would be beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Breathe 3 times. Again, if that's too much for you, you can certainly stretch the traditional way here and here, stretching your forearm this way, stretching the top of your forearm here or here. Find what works best for you. It'll give you a starting point to work out some of the details with the therapist when they come. But remember to challenge yourself without overdoing it. Adjust as needed. Maybe one exercise requires a different resistance than the other, and you're done with your forearm warm-up. Way to go.